Hey everybody, we're back with another weekly update. Sorry if you can hear the guy in the background who thinks it's spring enough to where he has to blow the leaves that don't exist. But anywho, let's get on with this. So last week I didn't get as much done as I was hoping I was going to get done. It was Holy Week, so the Easter celebration, and I also played drums at my church, so I had a lot of practices and performances that I needed to do, so that actually took up a lot of my time over the weekend, so didn't get as much as I wanted to get done, but it was still a good weekend. I have been working a lot on my Web App Challenge app, which is a Go application that I mentioned last week, and I've been building out my continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline. And I'm doing this a little bit different this time around. I'm using GitLab as my Git hosting service, and GitLab CI is pretty neat, so I've been playing around with that. So I'm using that as my CI and continuous deployment. So I needed to figure out how I was going to set up authentication with the Google Cloud and how to run database migrations and how to build an image that I could push up and then orchestrate my Kubernetes all from within the actual Docker container that it uses behind the scenes to run the continuous integration portion. So that's going really well. It'll probably turn into a suite of videos at some point, but we'll see. It sort of depends on how interested people are, if anybody wants to know how to configure this stuff for GitLab. But I'm also working on my first tutorial for DigitalOcean, well, working on the proposal for. I've had quite a few people ask me how to run applications in Docker with multiple applications on the same machine. So we walked through setting up a front end using Docker Compose on a DigitalOcean box before using Nginx, but it was only going to work with the way we had set up for one application, really. So I'm going to go through and show you how to use this tool called Traffic, which is really hard to spell, but it's TRAEFIK.io. I call it Trafic for a long time, but it's actually Traffic according to the guys who created it. But so I'm hoping to show off that tool, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. The docs are a little bit sparse, but we've got it figured out, and we used it at work quite a bit. In development, it's actually really cool because you can use that and DNS mask to set up DNS for your own application so that you don't have to use ports at all. So that's pretty neat, and maybe, who knows, maybe that'll turn into a video at some point too. But yeah, that's about it for me. Oh, there is one more thing. The Patreon thing that I talked about last week, where I was going to adjust it so that if you supported it all as low as a quarter per creation, then I was going to get you in as somebody who contribute to our topic selection process. Unfortunately, between then and me going to actually update that, Patreon updated their system, and you can no longer set the price to be less than $1, which I think I was doing kind of getting around their validations the first time anyway. So now it's not possible, which is kind of a drag. So I actually had to delete that tier because I could never update it. And I needed to update it to actually say that you could be part of the council, I think I'm calling it. But yeah, so sorry about that. The lowest tier is still $1 per creation. And I'm kind of, I don't know, curious about how everybody feels about the Patreon thing. So I put it out there, and I have, a couple patrons, but I'm just wondering what everybody thinks about it. So if you want to leave me some feedback about that, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm going to get back to doing the Web App Challenge, and I hope that you have something cool that you can be working on too. If so, leave me a comment down below, but don't forget to like the video. And as always, have a great week.